In her prime, Selena seemed like a successful independent lady with all things figured out. But behind the scenes, she was a puppet, and her father the puppet master ordering every aspect of her life. But then, she revolted against her father, fought to be her own person, and as a result, lost her life a few years later at the young age of 23. Till today, her father continues to blame himself for her death. But was it his fault? We'll leave you to be the judge after watching this video and seeing some of her rare photos. A lot of things were wrong about Selena's childhood and upbringing, and this was not just about her father forcing her out of school to turn her into his money-making machine. Quintanilla just never had it easy in life. She was born the youngest of 3 children, and her father, Abraham Quintanilla, a former American-Mexican musician, would make sure that Selena and her siblings at all cost became everything he failed at. Selena was born with the perfect pitch, as her father described to People magazine, so at 11, he made Quintanilla and her siblings to always perform at his restaurant in Lake Jackson. The 1980s glut oil recession hit, and Abraham was forced to close his restaurant. This ushered in the worst years of Selena's life. Her family found it really difficult to feed after this, and soon they were evicted from their home. Abraham came up with the idea to build a family band around his talented daughter, and he called it Selena y los Dinos. Selena did the vocals, her brother, Abraham III, was on the bass guitar, and Suzette Quintanilla handled the drums. They were found on street corners, weddings, quinceañeras, and fairs, but all they got was barely enough. People were amazed each time young Selena was on the microphone, and this promoted her fame. As that happened, her travel schedule also got busier. So her father decided to withdraw her from school so she could focus on music. Selena's teachers were not happy with this, and they threatened to report Abraham to the Texas Board of Education for subjecting young Selena to conditions that were inappropriate for a child of her age. So reluctantly, he let her continue. And at 17, Selena graduated from high school. She enrolled at Pacific Western University for a major in business administration, and nobody knows if she made it through. Her father believed Selena to be his ticket out of poverty, so he continued to push her until she fell in love with music. He taught her to record songs in Spanish, and by 1985, Quintanilla released her first Spanish album. To promote this album, Abraham had Selena featured on the Johnny Canales show, but still, not a lot of people will take them seriously. The family at this point was still struggling to keep food on the table, and with each failed attempt at success, Abraham got even more frustrated. But things promised to change after Selena won the Female Vocalist of the Year award in 1987. For all her troubles, life would compensate her with that one meeting that would change everything. Selena met label owner Jose Behar, who at that time was looking for Spanish singers to partner with. And the first time he heard Selena's voice, he knew at the spot that she was all he was looking for. Jose was so excited that this was happening that he would even offer Selena's dad twice the signing fee, as he believed that Quintanilla was going to be the next Gloria Estefan. Maybe he got his wish, maybe he didn't, but at that time, Behar was just too excited to be refused. He also proved to be just what Selena needed at that time of her career, as collaboration with him was going to expose her to the international industry. By 1989, Selena released her self-titled debut album under Jose, and it was a huge success. It peaked at number 7 on the US Billboard Regional Mexican Albums chart and stayed there for a few weeks. The duo kept working on many successful projects, and some of the best of their collaboration include Ya Ves, La Tracalera, and Baila Esta. While Selena was well established before this, her third studio album, Entre a mi Mundo, is popularly known as her breakthrough record because of how successful it was. The album dominated the US Billboard Regional Mexican Album chart for 8 consecutive months. And Quintanilla was not done yet. She released her 4th studio album, Live, a year after, and things got even more interesting. Live won Selena the Grammy for Best Mexican American Album, and it was named Album of the Year by the Billboard Latin Music Awards. While all of this was her father's dream, Selena had no problem adjusting to her new life. She was young, talented, and right on that spot where many dream about, but unfortunately, all of it was not going to last for so long. Selena lived more than half of her life pleasing her father, and when she showed him the one thing her heart truly desired, he still was going to turn her down. Selena met Chris Perez for the first time when he joined their band as a guitarist. Although Perez claimed that he had a girlfriend in San Antonio, he still found Selena irresistible. Within a few months, a lot of things started happening between them behind closed doors, and they did all they could to hide their romancy from the band, and especially Selena's father. But it backfired. Susana Quintanilla, Selena's sister, caught them flirting with each other, and she immediately informed her father. Abraham reacted exactly the way they feared he would, as he warned Chris to stay away from his daughter. At this point, even if he wanted to, it was still going to be very difficult. The lovebirds just couldn't even help themselves, and the next time they were caught together, Abraham fired Pérez from the band, calling him a cancer in his family. Still, Pérez and Selena continued seeing each other. They finally came to the sad conclusion that Abraham was never going to approve of their relationship, and they decided to elope. Selena and Pérez, with their bags packed, had a fast wedding before traveling down to Corpus Christi in Texas. The Quintanilla family did all they could to locate their golden daughter, but they couldn't. This continued for a while until Abraham was finally repentant. He apologized for everything and welcomed Pérez back to the band. Selena's father confessed in an interview that the reason why he hesitated in giving his blessings was that he thought that Pérez would force Selena to end her career and music goals to become a homemaker. But this never happened. Chris stuck with his wife until her untimely death in 1995. After Selena's death, Pérez fell into drug and substance abuse, and unfortunately, he has never been able to fully recover ever since. Away from her work in the studio and stage, Selena also did a few commendable things in the fashion design industry, and it is quite unfortunate that this was part of the reason she was killed. In 1994, Selena began to design and manufacture a line of clothing, and that same year, she opened 2 boutiques. Her education in business administration came in handy, as Selena would take her fashion line from zero to over $5 million in less than a year. Hispanic Business Magazine also reported that Selena Quintanilla was ranked among the 20th wealthiest Hispanic musicians who grossed the highest income in 1993 and 1994. Selena probably had big dreams for her career and business, but a wolf she let in was going to tear everything apart. Selena and her father were 2 different people. While Selena easily trusted everyone she met, Abraham was not so easily impressed. And this was going to be Selena's greatest unbecoming. After she had established her boutique stores, she appointed Yolanda Saldivar as manager. Yolanda used to be the president of Selena's fan club before she was promoted to manager. At the store, everyone kept complaining to Selena about Saldivar's attitude, but the singer trusted her manager too much to listen to what they were saying. Her workers went as far as reporting to her father, who came back to his daughter. Still, Quintanilla wouldn't even listen to her father. She knew he always had a problem with trusting people, and so assumed that this was one of those times. Not only was Saldivar oppressing Selena's workers in the boutique, but she was also stealing from her. And when Abraham and Selena confronted her with solid evidence of over $30,000 which she embezzled from the club and boutiques, she decided to kill Selena. Saldivar claimed that she was physically and sexually assaulted in Mexico, and so Selena accompanied her to the hospital to get herself checked and treated. A few days after this, they met at a local motel in Corpus Christi, and when Selena demanded that she hand over the financial papers for the business, Saldivar brought a gun from her purse and shot Selena on the right lower shoulder. Critically injured, Selena ran towards the lobby, leaving a trail of blood, and before she collapsed, she gave the name of her assailant and the room number. The police arrested Saldivar as she attempted to flee the scene, and Selena, well, she only made it as far as the hospital. The singer was declared clinically brain dead after she was diagnosed, and her heart ceased that same day 50 minutes into the surgery to save her life. Contrary to the rumors at the time of her death, Selena was not involved with any kind of drugs, and she was also not pregnant. Selena died at the young age of 23, but 23 was just enough for the iconic singer to leave an unforgettable mark in the music industry. Saldivar was sentenced to life in prison, and Selena's father has since then been fighting against gun laws in Texas. At the time of her death, Selena had an estimated net worth of $5 million. If you enjoyed this video, there's a good chance you'll also enjoy the one showing on your screen right now. Click, enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.